we are going to look at how to make a pie chart from data in Excel. And as in the previous two graphs, when I want to use the data, I don't really like to use my original data. So I am going to copy it and put it in a new sheet so that the integrity of my original data, in fact, maybe I will come in here, you can double click and you can change the name. So I will call that one data. So I know that's my original data, and come over here to my third sheet. I think I would like to make a pie chart on favorite color. So I'm going to highlight all of the data because I want it to all stay together, even though in this case, it's not necessarily that important. And I'm going to sort by favorite color. So I just choose favorite color out of here. If I had any other levels, I deleted them. And it puts them in order. And now I can make a little table. Blue, green, orange, pink, purple, red, yellow. I can count them by highlighting, and notice the number comes up here in the corner. I see 4 rows, so I know there's 4 of them. There are 4 greens. These are small enough that I can just look at them and see. But if you did have a lot of them, you can do that highlighting and it will count for you. 3. If you have a whole lot of them, as you drag down to like 30 or more, something like that, I'm not exactly sure the number, that number moves from up here to actually what you were highlighting. So as you watch, see, we see down there at the bottom, see how it's saying 34 rows, 30 rows. So if you have a lot of them, it changes from being up here in the corner to being down there. Now notice, if I want to, I could say, well, I only have 1 orange and 1 yellow. So I could put them together and call them other if I wanted to, but then there'd be 2 and there'd be 2 pinks and 2 purples. So I don't think I'll do that. But if you have a lot of them, you have a lot of the main colors, and then you have some strange ones like silver, you only have 1 silver and 1 marigold and 1 whatever, you can put them together. You can also choose, if you have like light green, dark green, spring green, pea green, you can decide to put those all together if you want into just green. So you have to make some of those choices yourself on what you want to use. Do you want to use primary colors and secondary colors and black and white? Or do you want to allow all these other different choices? All right, so I'm going to highlight these. And then I'm going to come over here to insert, and I am going to choose the pie chart. And basically I have here 3 choices. You can choose from more of them here, but I'm just going to choose the simple pie chart for now. Of course, I can come in here and change the title, favorite color. And notice it has a key. So it is showing that this blue and that blue are there. Move the key around. Whoops, and move the whole thing around. So you can move it around. You can also change these colors. So this one's blue, and blue is blue. Right here. So if I click, you got to look and see where the little dots are. So if the little dots are just on this piece, it's just this piece. So this orange piece right here is saying green. So perhaps I would like to change it to green. And so that little piece is now green. This little piece is orange. So maybe I would like to pick it to be orange. Ooh, that's not very orange, is it? So let's go in here and pick colors that be a little more orangey. All right, so you can pick your color there. This one I think is supposed to be pink. And this one is supposed to be yellow. No, that one was supposed to be purple. This one up here was the one that was supposed to be yellow. So, you know, you can just kind of play around with that a little bit and get the colors to match. So now what if you don't have a color printer, you want to print this out? Then maybe you would like to use patterns instead. So to use the patterns instead, I could pick patterns here, pattern fill. I could choose to use black, since black is the only color I have in my black and white printer. Now notice you can, whoops, I didn't mean to put it on the background here. I meant the background to be just plain old white. Let's pick white for the background. Chart area. I want it to be a solid fill and I want it to be white. There we go. So I got to click on the actual pie pieces if I want to fill the pie pieces. So there's where I would pick the pattern. I'm on the pie piece. So you can do the backgrounds too. So I accidentally showed you that. So I have this one being maybe the wavy lines, and this one being the patterns. I want it to be also black. And I want this pattern. So anyhow, you have the idea that you can just kind of use patterns instead if you have black and white. All right, so if you like the solid ones, you can pick those. If you want a gradient fill, this one is yellow. There's my color here. Well, that's the outline. So you got to play around and get a little used to how the things are. And then you see kind of the gradient there. This one is blue. So there we have blue. And if I want the gradient fill, it will have the blue if I want the solid, so on. Now you can also choose to put some of the data on here. So I can put the labels. It's kind of hard to see the little numbers there. Outside. All right, and I can pick, that's which ones I want to show. I also have over here elements that I can show that label, and I can move it over to the right if I want. I kind of like that over on the right better than at the bottom. So you can change that. You can also change the format here. So look at the top up here. I can change these. This one is kind of nice because it has the percents in there. So you can see the percents. This one also does. And you could go back through and again, change the colors to match, you know, the pink and orange and so forth if you want. So you can just kind of play around with the different versions. And this little arrow here will show you more. So here's one that actually has the colors and the percents in it. And you could change that to, you know, gray or something. If you were going to print this out in a black and white or something, that one would also be a good choice. So those are some easy ways to do a pie chart using Excel.